to myself, is that supposed to happen? Does the captain got it? And next thing you know, he was panicking. The walkie-talkie was panicking. The English lady was panicking. Everyone was panicking. And everyone ended up walkie-talkie started screaming at the captain. The captain was screaming back at them. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And within a few seconds, my brother told my mom to duck down. Cool guys, I'm Jolie Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. And today, I'm finally going to talk about my trip in Mexico where I almost died on a hot air balloon. So if you didn't know that, on Instagram, I've shared a mini kind of reel where I briefly mentioned that I almost died on a hot air balloon in Mexico City. On Instagram, I'm quite active and I share little stories like that often. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, I suggest you to do so right now. And for those wondering, yes, this story is real, it's very true, and I'll share some pictures that I have from the event in this video. And before I get into the story time, I would like to share a great thank you to everyone who has reached out to me, asked me if I was okay, if my family was okay. I truly appreciate you guys. And yes, we're all fine. I'm okay, my family's fine, and no one got hurt during the incident as far as I know it. And without further ado, I'll get right into the story time on how I almost died on a hot air balloon in Mexico. To give you a brief background, that happened around a month ago. Yeah, it's been about a month and a half ago. And me and my family went on a family trip and we decided to go to Mexico City. It was really fun. We enjoyed the whole entire trip, and I should edit the vlog and post it here soon, so stay tuned to that. During our trip, we went to so many excursions, we visited so many places. So if you haven't yet visited Mexico City, I highly recommend it. It was so fun for us and we all had a great time. So one of our excursions was to go on a hot air balloon in Teotihuacan, which was about an hour away from Mexico City. And it was supposed to be an experience where you're on a hot air balloon during sunrise. And in that experience, you're also flying over the pyramids in Teotihuacan, and it was really nice. It was such a nice, beautiful experience, but you know, I almost died in that experience, so I'll get to that part soon. So for us to go to that excursion, we had to wake up at 3 a.m. Yes, 3 a.m. because we had this bus picking us up at 5 a.m. at our hotel, and since the excursion was like an hour away, so that's why everything had to be super early so we could get there before sunrise. Also, like a few warnings, if you decide to go on this excursion, it is cold in the morning. They did warn us. They told us, oh, to bring a light jacket or something like that because it will be cold in the morning and where that area is a little cold. However, me, I wanted to be a hot girl. I'm like, I'm from New York. I can handle any cold. It's fine. I'm not gonna be cold. No, I was cold. And the crazy thing is I played myself because I end up looking like a fool because I was cold. So I'll insert some pictures here. You know, me thinking I was cute, but no, I look like a fool. But anyways, I think I'm still cute though. So once we got there, one of the first things that shocked me is like how big hot air balloons are. When I see them in pictures or online or whatever, there's no way I could comprehend how big they are. They're just massive. I tried to take videos to show how massive they are, but I don't think videos do them any justice. They are pretty massive. So before we got onto the hot air balloon, they give us specific instructions, and trust me, these instructions will matter towards the end of the story. So the instructions are when we're about to land, we all have to like squat and all face the same direction. So you squat, face the same direction, and hold, they have like these little bars you hold on to while I guess you're landing. So they all taught us to face that same direction and squat that way. And I'll say in the hot air balloon there was about like 20 to 30 people. However, they're divided into little baskets, and in the pictures you'll see what I'm talking about. So me and my family was in one basket. There was like 4 of us, and so we were squatting down and like facing that direction. Me and my mom are in the back. So me and my mom, our backs are facing the back of the basket. So all this information is relevant to the story time. Oh yeah, and they also told us that there was a 50-50 chance for the hot air balloon not to go over the pyramids, which we were upset about. And they're like, yeah, there's also a chance that it might be cloudy or it might be raining. So we're like, we hope that doesn't happen. And thank God for us that did not happen. So everything worked out for us in that department. So we got on, the hot air balloon departed, we flew right over the pyramids, we saw the sunrise. We didn't see the beginning of the sunrise because I think our hot air balloon was a little late, so we did not see the very beginning of the sunrise, but we still see it. We took some pictures. It was so cute. It was really fun. So if you have not yet been on a hot air balloon, I highly recommend you to do that experience. Everything was great and fun and dandy up until it was time for us to land. So like I said at the beginning, they tell us when we're about to land, we all face the same direction and we all squat, right? Okay. So I forget to mention this part. In the hot air balloon, there was like two captains. There was like this main captain. He only spoke Spanish. And then there was like a co-captain. She wasn't really a co-captain, but she was like his translator. And she was the one who was giving us the instructions in English. And also another part I forgot to add is that the captain had a walkie-talkie in his head. And in the walkie-talkie, he was talking to other people who are on the ground and giving him instructions of where to land, where to go, etc. and all that. So me and my family, our basket was literally right next to the captain's basket. So pretty much I could hear his whole entire conversation. I could hear the whole entire walkie-talkie conversation. However, I don't speak 100% Spanish. I can speak Spanish, but my Spanish is not perfect. So I probably understood probably like 50% of the conversation. So when we're about to land, two things happened. So when it was time for us to land, so the captain told us to get into landing position, and then the lady also told us to get into landing position. So we started squatting down. Next thing you know, the hot air balloon grazed a tree. And I'm like, okay, was that supposed to happen? And yeah, so I forgot to mention also like where me and my mom was facing. So like we were facing, well, when we were about to land, our backs was like facing where the direction of where the hot air balloon was supposed to go. So we're like towards like very back of the basket. And you'll see that in the pictures I'm providing. So yeah, we grazed a tree. So I'm like, okay, I don't think that was supposed to happen. And literally a minute later, I see another tree, like a bigger tree. So the tree we grazed was pretty big. But a few seconds later, I saw a bigger tree and we were heading towards the bigger tree. And I was thinking to myself, is that supposed to happen? Does the captain got it? But when I turned towards the captain, next thing you know, he was panicking. The walkie-talkie was panicking. The English lady was panicking. Everyone was panicking. And everyone ended up walkie-talkie started screaming at the captain. The captain was screaming back at them. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And within a few seconds, my brother told my mom to duck down. And the next thing you know, the basket hit the bigger tree. And I'm not kidding. By the time the basket made contact with the tree, everyone literally ducked down inside the basket. And thank God everyone did that, because if we didn't, I think everyone would have gotten injured by the tree branches hitting us and whatnot. So yeah, we hit the tree. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder what would happen. Like, is the tree gonna break the basket? Is the basket gonna break the tree? Is the basket gonna get stuck on the tree? Or will the tree be on fire? Because, you know, with the hot air balloon, you use the flames for it to fly. So that's another concern I was thinking about. Another concern I was thinking about is, will we get stuck on the tree? Like, who's gonna help us? Like I said, the tree was pretty tall. It was pretty big. So the impact happened for like a good 15 to 20 seconds. So we just heard the tree crushing the basket while the basket was crushing the tree, but we did not know what was happening. We all just ducked down trying to be safe, and we just don't know what was going on. And one of the craziest part is that no one screamed. Like, no one screamed. It seemed like no one was panicking. We were just all confused. We're like, what is going on? So after like 15, 20 seconds, I would say like 15 to 30 seconds, you hear a lot of rumbling. The basket was shaking. Like I said, I don't know what was going on. And next thing you know, we see men just start running at us in the basket. So that's how I know we landed. And I saw the captain's like, we can get up now. And you know, his translator's like, we can get up now. So yeah, by the time everyone got up, all we saw inside of the baskets were like tree branches everywhere, tree debris everywhere, leaves, flour, you name it. Everything was on everyone. Since me and my mom, we were like towards the back of the basket, so we literally got hit first. So me and my mom got hit first. And thank God me and my mom are short, because we were able to duck in faster. But let's say it was someone taller at the back, they would have got hit by a tree branch or something. And I was not joking. So like, I was covered in debris. So was my mom. And yeah. And the crazy part is that the captain didn't even ask us if we were okay. He didn't ask us, were you hurt or anything? But it seemed like no one was hurt. Like, I know with me and my family, we were not hurt. but it seemed like the other families were not hurt as well. We were just all confused. We weren't even scared about what was happening. We were just so confused. So once we got out of the basket and everything, we looked towards like the left side of the basket and we see this big tree, and this big branch just broke off from the tree. So thank God the basket broke the tree branch instead of the other way around, or else, you know, bad things could have happened to us. So yeah, I inserted some pictures of the tree. Take a look at that. It's pretty big, and you can see how big the tree is compared to that man. Yeah, it was a pretty big tree, and it was pretty tall. I don't think the picture does any justice on how tall that tree was. So yeah, we landed, and then we landed on this field, and so yeah, the field was like, it was a field, but the field was surrounded by trees. So we hit one of those trees. That's what happened. And they brought multiple cars to pick us up, to take us back to the spot where we were supposed to go. And yeah, that was it. The rest of the excursion ended up being pretty fine. Part of the excursion was to visit the pyramids, eat breakfast at a natural cave. It was so nice. The breakfast wasn't that great though, but the cave was so pretty. I'm inserting some pictures here. Hopefully you guys see how pretty it is. And the pyramids was so nice. The pyramids, ruins, and archaeological sites were so nice. I highly recommend you guys to see it. So overall, we had a lot of fun at that excursion, except for the part where we almost died. But yeah, it's something I highly recommend, although I almost died. And I know someone is going to ask me, would I do a hot air balloon experience again? My answer is yes. However, probably not in Mexico because I'm still a little traumatized. But overall, it was such a beautiful experience that I would experience it again. So I hope you like my story time on how I almost died on a hot air balloon in Mexico. If you like that story time, please give me a like and subscribe for more story times like this. Also follow me on my socials such as Instagram and TikTok, where I also give mini story times there as well. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye. Adios.